everyone, it's Jordan again, and for today I want to read you a devotional from this book, Jesus Listens. Now, I was trying to think back to if I've ever read a Jesus Listens on here before or not, and I honestly can't remember, but either way, Jesus Listens is written by Sarah Young, and basically it's just a prayer for every single day. It even says, she calls it a devotional prayer for each day, and I think that's a perfect definition for it. So, as I read this, I want you to know that it's not just a devotional, it's actually a prayer, so I just invite you to feel free to just listen to it as a prayer and pray it along with me, because this is one, it's just one that I think we all need to be reminded of, and I think it's a prayer that we all need to pray in our lives. I know that I certainly do in mine. So, I invite you to pray with me as I read this devotional. Jesus, my guide, help me to go gently through this day, keeping my eyes on you. I ask you to open up the way before me as I take steps of trust along the path of life with you as my guide. Sometimes the way before me appears to be blocked. I've discovered that if I focus too much on the obstacle or on searching for a way around it, I'm likely to go off course. So I need to stay focused on you, the shepherd who is leading me along my life journey. If I keep my eyes on you, the obstacle will be behind me before I know it, and I may not even understand how I passed through it. This is an important secret of success in your kingdom. Though I remain aware of the visible world around me, I want to be primarily aware of you. When the road before me looks rocky, I know I can trust you to get me through that rough patch. No matter what is happening, your presence with me enables me to face each day with confidence. In your encouraging name, amen. I just think that's a prayer that all of us should pray very, very frequently. Because, we've talked about it many times on here before, just how easy it is for our minds to get clouded up with those obstacles. And we all have them, right? We all have those obstacles, and I'm sure we're even thinking of some right now. I know that I am. Of just things, and I've seen this so much in my own life, when I am focused on those obstacles and focused on those things that I'm really worried about, or just like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this is not good. Like, those things, they can just spin around in your mind forever and ever, right? You can't get them out of your mind. But when you focus on God instead, you're automatically just in a better place. It's like, I was trying to think of maybe kind of a Bible story that would correlate with this, and of course I thought of many different ones and stories in my own life, but the first thing that came to my mind was Peter on the boat. When he kept his eyes focused on Jesus, he was completely fine, and he was able to walk on water, which you would think that would be an obstacle, right? There's a big, wide ocean, but in between him and Jesus, you think that'd be an obstacle, but when he kept his eyes on Jesus, he was able to still walk on it, and he wasn't even realizing what he was doing. He was just able to walk on the water, and he was completely fine with it. But as soon as he started to say, oh my gosh, this is a huge obstacle, what the heck am I doing? And he started to look down, and his eyes were off of Jesus, and he no longer was focusing on him. All of a sudden, his perspective shifted down to the obstacle, right? To the fact that he was on water. Then he started to sink. And I think that's kind of relates to what Sarah Young is talking about in here, that when we're focusing on God, when we're looking at God, we're not looking at the obstacles. We can't look at both at the same time, right? So we're looking at God, and sometimes we can walk through those obstacles, and God can carry us through them when we're focused on Him, and we can be like, wow, God, I didn't even know, that would have been so much harder. I didn't even fully realize, but you just carried me through it, and I had your peace, and I was looking at you, and I didn't even fully realize what was going on. But when we start looking at the obstacles, that's when we have the tendency to stop thinking, God's with me, God's going to do this, God's going to carry me through this, God's with me in this, and we start thinking, oh my gosh, I can't do this, what am I doing? I can't do this, I need to get out of this somehow. And then the panic starts to set in, and then the worry starts to set in, and all of the fear and just everything that comes with the obstacles, and those are legitimate things. I'm not sitting here saying, like, don't ever be afraid of something that's in your way. No, no, no. Those are legitimate. What I'm saying is, don't focus on them. What Sarah Young is saying is, don't focus on them. What God is saying is, don't focus on them. Focus on Him instead. And then those obstacles might still be there, might still be really hard, but keep our eyes on Him. They'll be much easier, and they'll be doable, and God will prove Himself faithful every single time, which is something He's been teaching me a lot, is He is faithful to get us through those obstacles, no matter what they are. And we can always trust that if there is an obstacle in our path, it's because He allowed it to be there. And we know that that means that it's for a reason, and He's going to use it for His glory and for our good at some point. So if we keep our eyes focused on that, it makes those obstacles much more doable. Okay, I hope that encouraged you today. If you have any obstacles that you're going through or things that you're facing, just to keep your eyes on Jesus and to trust that He is faithful and He will get you through them. Just keep your eyes on Him and not them. God is good all the time.